All right, well, good morning, everyone. Today is February 11th, 2025. That'd be Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and support each of you. We're going to go back to the basics for a few minutes and talk about the enrollment process of a client, which of course is what generates income for you, and then talk about the two different approaches of how to do that. So if all's going well, my screen is shared with you and you see an example of a landing page, and then we see the notes. So we're going to talk about the reseller marketing program only to the extent to differentiate it from the default. So let's say we'll type on here how to enroll a client. Now, what are we enrolling a client into? We're helping clients qualify for funding because we know if someone wants funding, they need funding, that's not enough. They need to have a fundable business. A fundable business can be accomplished either by building one or by buying one. Our experience after many years is most clients are better served by buying one, by buying a shelf corporation rather than building a fundable business. It's a great analogy of, let's say you're ready to move on to a new place to live. You could either build a house or buy a house. Both of them are good options. And there are some unique attributes of building your own house, right? You get to pick the colors of the cabinets and the carpets, but there's a whole lot more moving parts to build a house. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's just, it's probably going to take longer. You probably aren't as familiar with it, so there's more possibility for issues and hiccups. Or we could go buy a home that's already built, ready to move into. Well, when it comes to getting a fundable business, we spent years helping clients build. And there were so many variables and so many issues that could come up. We realized that's probably not the right answer for the average entrepreneur. The average entrepreneur is probably better suited to buy a fundable shelf business, a fundable shelf corporation, a business that's ready to go to funding in a week. Now, what if they already have a business? They tend to get emotional. Well, I already have a business. Well, great. So then what we do is we ask, well, is your business that you currently have, is it fundable? And almost always they don't know. So this is where financial literacy is at the epicenter of what you and I do. They don't know what it means to have a fundable business. But most cases, 99% of the cases, they'll have some elements of a fundable business, but other elements that's not. So in other words, the answer is no, it's not ready to go to funding. Therefore, we're back to the same decision. Okay, do you want us to help you fix the business that you have so it's fundable? We can do that. Or let's set that aside for a moment. We don't need to get rid of it. We don't need to change it. But what if we could just bring in a new business that's ready to go, get the money, and then if you want to transfer from the new business to the old, you can. So the bottom line is, from our experience, helping clients get into a fundable shelf corp is almost always the better answer for you as a distribution partner, for the client, and for us. So with that being said, we need to know how to enroll a client. And so the point is there are two different answers to that question. So are you going to enroll them, what we'll say, directly, or are you going to enroll them through the reseller, a little delay there, sorry, through the reseller marketing program? RMP stands for reseller marketing program or package. So let's go through both, because you need to know both. And then you can decide how you want to enroll your clients. It doesn't matter. You're going to get paid the same way in either case. The client's getting the same deliverables in either case. It's just simply what tools and resources do you want to have? So if you came to us and said, hey, I want to be a reseller, we'd say, great. No contract to sign, no fees to pay. We're going to email you. You email us and request it. We'll email you and we're going to provide you the reseller implementation kit. Doesn't cost you a penny. Now, the implementation kit's not the same as the marketing program. So what we're going to do is we're going to email you, and all of you by now should have it. I think we have 529 of you on here, and I'd have to go a little closer through the names, but I suspect most of you are resellers already. If you're not, let us know. No cost, no contract. So from that email, you'll get, amongst other things, an editable client agreement. You're going to take that editable client agreement, you're going to remove our information, put yours on, change pricing, and you're ready to enroll clients. Normally, you're going to use some sort of e-signature software. It's crazy simple. You should be open for business in less than an hour, making money in less than an hour. So that's perfect. The alternative, so there's nothing wrong with number one. Nothing wrong. I'm not here to say that you shouldn't do that. There are some enhancements, though, that I need to make sure that we're all familiar with, because I had a number of you, even yesterday, confused. So if you're confused, it's my fault, so we're going to fix it. So what is the reseller marketing program? Is it free? Let's start with cost. Everyone wants to focus on cost. Well, yes and no. There is a cost for us to set it up, but we will refund that cost to you with your first deal. So in the end, there's no cost. The reseller marketing program has several important attributes that I need you to understand. So let's go through RMP components. So at the most basic level, it includes us providing you a landing page. Hey, you're smart. You can go develop your own landing page. It'll look like this. It'll be coded to you. So these little numbers at the end are unique. And then what you're able to do with the reseller marketing program, the RMP, is drive people to your landing page to get them in your funnel. So that's a nice to have. It makes your first step in the sales process very easy. But is it crucial? No. I mean, you could go enroll someone directly by giving them your link to your Adobe or DocuSign e-signature, but it's good to have. But what's more important than just the landing page is that it has automation, and that's what a couple of you asked me to go through today. So the automation means that once your prospect comes and fills this out, then it's going to put them into a drip marketing campaign that we build for you. And that drip marketing campaign, first they have to opt into it. So let's clarify. We're going to go deep into the weeds here. So when your prospect fills out these 4 forms, clicks the box and the blue bar, it's going to almost immediately send them a text, and they type yes, so they opt in. So now they've given us legal permission to communicate with them. So that's why you can't effectively just go drop a bunch of people into your landing page, because what's going to happen, it's going to send them that opt-in where they have to respond yes. And if you just went and dropped a bunch of people on your form, then they're going to get all these notifications that they don't know about, and they're not going to opt into yes. That's not the way to treat people. You don't want to spam them. So you would need to generate awareness, which could be no more than reading what's on the page, asking them to fill out your landing page to learn more. Then the automation starts. So the automation is composed typically of 5 pieces of communication. So let's go through each of those. So in 1 minute, they'll receive the first text. Now, with our drip campaign, we like using text. We'll also supplement some emails, but emails can get cluttered. They can get caught in spam. Texts tend to be read more often. So in 1 minute, the system will text them, and encourage them to sign up. So what it will have in this 1-minute text is a link. So we'll say includes e-signature link. Add E back there. So if you do the RMP, we create an e-signature version of your contract with whatever pricing you want. It's built into this drip campaign. So the first text they receive, which is approximately 1 minute after they opt in, they're already being offered the ability to sign up. Now, we know that not everyone will sign up just because they've been offered it the first time, but if we don't offer them to sign up, then they never will. So then next is the second drip campaign, and it goes out 30 minutes later. Now, we're not going to just keep sending them the same thing, sign up, sign up, sign up. So now there's different communication that's going 30 minutes later, trying to educate them, trying to get them involved and get them interested. Then the next drip goes to them, and these are all texts. So we send emails, but emails are on a different server. So then 1 hour later, they'll receive the next text. This one will again include the e-signature. So we're wanting to both educate them and try to engage them. Why didn't that? There we go. Then we give it a break and we don't text them again for 24 hours next day. And then normally the last one that we'll text that we'll send will be 48 hours later. We'll continue an email campaign, frankly, indefinitely. So what's included in the reseller marketing program? A landing page with the automation. We'll space this out so we can see the components better. So what's implied there, but just worth mentioning, is it also includes the development and maintenance of your client contracts. So let's take Joseph, who is on. Joseph's on today. So Joseph signed up for the reseller marketing program. His first day live was Sunday, 2 days ago. And I'm pulling from memory, but I think this is correct. So I think Joseph had 4 contracts signed on Sunday. And then yesterday, which was Monday, his second day, I think he had 2 or 3 more. So it certainly facilitates greater enrollment. People that are using the RMP are typically our top producers. And who knows the cause and effect? Is it the system that's causing them to produce more success and more income, or is it that they're just of the right mindset so they use the tools? I don't know. That doesn't really matter, but it certainly works, and Joseph's a testament to that. So what happens is, let's take for Joseph, and I think he's got another contract sitting there this morning already. So we will execute the contract for Joseph on his behalf. We'll email it to him so he knows he has a signed contract. He didn't have to do anything. He's outsourced it to us. And then we will send to the client the application for financing. And that's true regardless if they come directly through you or through the RMP. Once you have a contract, then we need to get them financing. Now, there's another really big benefit of the RMP that is maybe the main reason we're having this discussion today. So everything we said is true and relevant and probably helpful, but this allows for overrides. So what this means is that if you sign up for the RMP, and I don't care if you do or not, I'm not here trying to pitch you on it. I just want you to understand how it works. So if you do sign up for the RMP and you have a landing page, then you have a unique number in our system. And so then you can earn overrides. So in other words, if any of your clients then become a distribution partner, you'll automatically earn overrides from them. Or if you run into others that want to be a reseller, They can become a reseller, they make their normal income, and then you earn overrides. The only way that we can facilitate the overrides is if both you and the other party are using the landing pages, because that's what connects everyone. So I see Jordan's asking about the override. So let's talk about how that works. So we'll call this compensation. As a reseller, you pick how much you make, both in terms of how many clients you help and how much you make per client. But the first, so we'll call direct compensation. So the first element is you're paid up front based upon how much you're charging for the Shelf Corp. We know the wholesale cost is $10,000. Client doesn't have to pay anything out of pocket, it's financed. So anything above $10,000 is your profit. Most of you are charging 15 to 20. I think Joseph is doing, now I'm second guess. I don't remember if Joseph's doing 15 or 20, but most of you doing 15 to 20,000. We'll go to the low end and just say that you're making 5,000. Oops, 5,000 upfront per client. Not get rich quick, not a big deal for a lot of you, but our average reseller does a deal a day. Now, some of, like Joseph, he's doing 3 or 4 or 5 a day, but our average reseller does a deal a day, extra 5,000 a day times 20 or 30 times a month, good side income, right? Not going to replace the money that you're currently making, good side income. The bigger income, though, isn't from that. It is the 5% of the client's capital raise. So it's just a function of how much do they raise and how much do you get. If they raise 100,000, then you make 5,000. If they raise 1,000,000, you get 50,000. It's just a formula. They determine how much money they want to raise, and then we're building the business out to support that. But the average client goes after $1 million. So if you add these two together, average income per client to you is 55,000. So does it get rich quick? No. Is it life-changing? No. But I mean, it's a good side income. And you take like Michael Newton. Michael Newton, to him, 55,000 is lunch money. But for a lot of us, an extra 55,000 a day is pretty significant. There's some people that don't make that in a year. I used to be a public school teacher. That was my annual income. Okay, so, but the question that Jordan had wasn't about that. It was about the override income. So the override income is the same. So I don't have to go explain it. So the way that we've set up the override income is that if you have the reseller marketing package and then you have a reseller that's in your downline, underneath you, on your team, whatever description you want, but essentially we hard code them. So you brought them in. So they're going to get this and you're going to get the same off of their production. So you'll make the same 5,000, you'll make the same 5,000, 5%, and then depending upon the client's capital raise, projects out 55,000. So some of you have really latched on to this and realized, well, this is the way to go. And we had a training last Friday where we talked about how to how to kind of act as a broker and develop relationships with those that already have lots of volume. So if you want to go back and see past trainings, it's on our YouTube. All right, so today the goal was to make sure we have clarity of the reseller marketing program. There's one more element we didn't get to, and then we'll get to questions. So everything I said is true. So you don't need the reseller marketing program to be successful. You can just do it direct. We send you an email, you have a client agreement, you edit it, you get clients under contract, everything pays out the same. It's just you don't have these tools, resources, and so forth, and you lose the ability for the overrides because we don't have you and your downline, if you will, in the system. With that being said, it becomes an issue of support. So let's go down here to number 5. Now, this is the tough one, and this is the most difficult for me to communicate. When we set up the reseller program, we didn't want it to be pay for play. So, like I said, it's free, right? If you want to be a reseller, you email us, we set you up, no contract to sign, nothing to pay. That's true. The problem that we're having, and we should have anticipated it, but we're having it, is we have people that just suck up so much of our bandwidth. They're not producing, but they have a million fucking questions. And they're not asking the questions with the intent to sell. I was talking to one gentleman yesterday, and he said, no, I don't really want to be active as a reseller, but I got questions. In the beginning, it's like, well, okay. But then the next call comes in from the same person. And all of a sudden, you're spending an immense amount of time on people that have taken up the free reseller proposition, and they'll tell you they don't plan on selling anything. They just got a lot of fucking curiosity, a lot of time on their hands. Killing us, killing us. So we've got to stop it. We've got to stop it. So we either need to charge to be a reseller, which we're not going to do, or we need to change how we're going to handle resources and support. So that's what we're going to do. Now, this sounds like we're being pricks, so I apologize. But if you are not using RMP, then we're going to put you in the bucket of a passive reseller, which is okay. You got other things going on, you got other ways to make money. This really isn't important to you. Maybe you'll refer someone, maybe you won't. That's fine. But if that's what you're going to be, then these trainings are your support. This is it. These trainings. Because we cannot, as an organization, spend hours and hours and hours and hours spending time on these people. It's killing us, and we're seeing it happen. So forgive us. Don't want to be mean. Don't want to be, it's just, you've got no money invested. We're going to train through these morning Zooms, approximately 20 times a month. This is where you get your support. In contrast, we want to improve our level of support for the RMP users. And so that's going to have enhanced support. And that'll, be more one-on-one calls if you need help closing deals and so forth. So forgive me for this, because everyone feels important and everyone wants to be treated like a VIP. But we can't, as an organization, say, hey, anyone can be a reseller for free, no production requirements, no cost, but then just chew up so much of our time. No more, no more. So if you want to make the investment in the reseller marketing program, which is a temporary investment, because once you do one deal, we reimburse your cost, by the way. We need some way to vet the producers from the pretenders. And that's a horrible set of labels, but hopefully that makes sense. So forgive us, but if you're just an average reseller, you don't want to use the reseller marketing program, these morning trainings, that's the extent of your support. Now, once you have a client under contract, are we going to take care of the client and do all the things the same? Yeah, the client implementation is the same. It's just the million different questions that we're getting that is very distracting from our production. So hopefully that makes sense, doesn't offend anyone. And frankly, it's probably a pretty good reason to stop and decide, what do you want out of this? If you're really going to be serious, then I would get the reseller marketing program. So you have the landing page, the automation, we develop and maintain your contracts, you're able to get the overrides, and then the enhanced support. But I'm not pushing you for that. It's not like a bait and switch. You can come in on the free, stay on the free, make money when you want to make money. All right. So with that, the next question Jordan has is, do we have this in other languages? Nope. We're simple people. So the landing page has my car on it. If you don't like my car, then you can build your own landing page. This is a car I bought about a year ago. It was accessed through the Mecum Auto Auctions, a high-end auction, has a radar jammer, which is pretty cool if you see. this and this, and I think right there, I'm not sure about this one, but definitely those two. Those are radar jammers. So you can drive up to what, 222 miles per hour, and the police can't even, it's like stealth, can't pick up radar. But this is my car. Not to brag, you can buy your own company car. We can facilitate you buying a company car if you want. We got a bank that'll lend you the money. But the bottom line is this is the standard landing page, comes in English, looks like this. It'll be coded to you. If you don't like that, that's okay. You can do a direct model and create whatever you want. That's fine. So not meaning to be inflexible, it's just we have a million different requests and everyone wants to do it their way. And so we want to take into consideration people's advice and input and constructive criticism, but we're trying to run a business. We're pushing right about $1 million on it on an average work day. So there's a lot going on, and we have to standardize. So Rod's asking, yeah, so the reseller marketing program is $1,000. Half of it goes to you, half of it goes to our team to build out and manage this. So what I mean by that, so let's say Rod's asking the question. So if Rod brings in Jocelyn, and so Rod would collect from Jocelyn $1,000. Rod would be Jocelyn's upline. I know I hate those MLM terms, but let's just go with it because it makes sense. So Rod is Jocelyn's upline. Jocelyn is Rod's downline. So Rod's going to earn an override from Jocelyn. Rod will collect the 1,000. He'll keep half, send us half. We'll build this out. Everybody will be connected. So, but the bottom line is we're going to reimburse Jocelyn on her first deal, because it's not that we aren't willing to invest in our team, but our problem is we'll invest in everyone and a lot of people don't produce, and that's horrible. So have a little skin in the game. If you want the reseller marketing program, pay 1,000. Half of it goes to your upline. Half of it comes to our team to build it out and manage it. And then you'll get it fully back from out of your first deal. So Rod, I don't know if that was your question, but hopefully that's the answer. Yeah, and Jordan says, and Jordan's like some others, a number of you have some target markets and they may be foreign speaking. Well, that's fine. So you can be the translator, the interpreter, whatever role that you want to play. That's great to have diverse target markets, but we're doing really well with a standard approach. The more customization that we do, the more it bogs us down. So we want to do what we do really well. We want to deliver to the client 100% of the time what we promise to do, and the fewer the moving parts, the better off we are. Judy asked for the reseller marketing package. Okay, so normally we can turn that around pretty quick, but what you would do is get with Madison. She's your normal first line of contact. Let her know you want the reseller marketing package, and then we'll send you the link. So that is in writing. So what I said is true. The reseller program, no contract, no cost. The RMP, there is a contract and there is a cost, but it's reimbursed after the first deal. So if somehow you slip through the cracks, Judy, I apologize. Get with Madison, let her know. We'll get you the contract for the reseller marketing program. You'll sign it. You'll pay the 1,000. Half of it goes to your upline. Half of it comes to our implementation team, and we can have that turned around pretty quickly. So again, I don't care if each of you do this or not, but I do care that you understand the relevant aspects, especially the ability to earn overrides. We cannot facilitate the override system if you're not in the RMP, because then we don't have these little numbers and the linkage between everyone. Jordan's asking, are there monthly maintenance fees? No. So there's no ongoing cost. So don't worry about that. Okay, next. Todd asked a really good question. So Todd brings in a client. He sells a Shelf Corp. and that client then wants to become a reseller, which many clients do, not all, but many do. And will they get put under, in this case, would it get put under Todd? Yeah, but you're going to take an active role, right, Todd? So you know who your clients are that have signed contracts. You know who your clients are that have been funded. And so it would make sense that you, Todd, say, hey, we also have a reseller program. You may or may not be interested. Doesn't cost you anything to be a reseller, but we do have some tools and resources, which is what we covered today, that would allow you to earn a great commission and overrides. So essentially, Todd, you would be pitching the RMP because you have a vested interest in it, right? Because if your client doesn't become a reseller and use the RMP, then there's no ability to pay overrides because we need everyone to run through the tracking system so we know where the money flows to. So I don't want you to all feel like you got to be passive. There, we're not MLM, we're not network marketing. There's no pay to play to be a reseller. It's not a fee based. But if they want the tool set, someone needs to pay for it. Now, I will tell you that a couple of you, and I think it's Pauline, Celino, I forget who, but a number of you are actually building the RMP into the cost of the shelf. So when your clients get a shelf, they're automatically getting this. It's included in their package. Now they may use it, they may not use it, but that's a smart way to go because they're already paying you to buy the Shelf Corp. You're picking the price. Why not build this into it? Right? It doesn't reduce your profitability. You're adding it to the cost of the shelf, but that's up to you. All right. Jason has a client that came in Friday, didn't receive the finance app. Okay, so Jason, I don't know where the client slipped through and it maybe they didn't receive it, but that's good. That's great. Jason's got a great point. If you see a client come in and they don't seem to be processed correctly, we need to jump right on it. And so within 24 hours of you submitting a client, we should be hopping on it. So Jason, we'll reach out to you today to figure out who that client is. But I appreciate that. So any of you, when you're submitting deals, so let's go back to the process. When you enroll a client, you're going to get the client under contract. If you're using RMP, it comes directly to us. So there's never a risk of them getting lost in the shuffle. It comes directly to us. If you're using the direct model, which I believe you are, Jason, then you're uploading into that portal, and then you just need to let us know there's a new contract to process. It sounds like maybe we didn't pick up on that, Jason, so we'll get that resolved. But you need to let us know, everyone, if you're uploading a new client to process through system process number one. We know automatically, and it happens automatically on number two because it's built into the system. But we'll get that addressed. All right, so thanks everyone. Great to see you this morning. Hopefully this was helpful. Not here trying to pitch you the reseller marketing program. Doesn't matter to me. Just want you to know how it works so we all have common expectations, and then to understand how the support's going to work, because we need to be able to allocate most of our time to our serious partners, where our passive partners will be supported on these morning calls. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Bye.